Today we're going to walk through step-by-step remediating vulnerability. This is in Microsoft Internet Explorer unsupported version detection. This one's pretty common, pretty simple to remediate, and I'm going to walk you through all the steps. So before we get started, I'm going to give a shout out to Salvatore.ai, who's sponsored this Tenable tenant for us. Allows me to be able to make these videos, so don't forget to check out Salvatore.ai. Go ahead and register for a free trial. We do free cybersecurity services, and what I'm showing you here is what I do every day. We actually do remediate your vulnerabilities. Sometimes that requires us to write scripts, sometimes requires us to work hands-on, all kind of things we have to do. But most companies, so please note this, especially if you're new to cybersecurity, most companies don't actually remediate your vulnerability. They deploy patches, but there are a lot of vulnerabilities that you have to do a lot of other stuff, including scripting, to get those off, and it's not just resolved through a patch. So what we're looking at here is one of the machines I have, and so this one, like, there's one critical on this machine currently, Microsoft Internet Explorer unsupported version detection. So let's zoom in, and so I want to make sure that I explain exactly what this vulnerability means. Okay, so the reality is this vulnerability is related to the fact that we know Internet Explorer, or you should at this point know Internet Explorer will end of life. It's not supported, but a lot of times the components remain on the machine. And so what happens is when you go to launch certain programs, they will still try to launch the Internet Explorer instead of launching the newer Microsoft Edge. And so what this does is this saying basically that we have to add this registry key to this device in order to remediate the vulnerability. So it says Internet Explorer is being detected and as enabled. This is due to the fact that the registry key is missing or not set. So then we need to dig into the details. And like I said, I'm going to be walking step by step through all of this. So please, if you're interested in learning vulnerability management, I'm going to try to teach you the entire process. So Tenable then kind of gives you a lot of information, gives you some details here according to the self-reported version number. On this one, it's no longer supported, basically. So when Tenable did a scan, that's what it detected. And so then it gives you these links to documentation. And so we can look through the documentation. It talks about the life cycle, talks about unsupported. So it says the desktop application has been permanently disabled on certain versions of Inte. Click here to learn more. But what I'm curious about is when I looked at these articles before, they provided links to like what you're supposed to set the registry key to. So if you notice in this one, it doesn't tell me, it just tells me the registry key doesn't exist. And so for this vulnerability, I'm going to just take it at face value, and then I'm going to perform a scan, and we'll see if I need to do a follow-up video, I'll do that. So once again, I'll click in this link. I don't see where it tells me how to remediate the vulnerability. So it says, it's talking about Microsoft lifecycle policies and stuff like that. Once again, and then finally, let's look at this docs.microsoft.com. Okay, disable Internet Explorer. Okay, this looks promising. Let's see, is it actually showing me how or telling me anything? Because this is part of vulnerability management. Like, I can just write the script, and we're going to do that in just a little bit. Okay, so it tells me how to do this, but I'm not actually on the machine. Okay, so that being the case, go to computer, figure administration tips and Windows components, Internet Explorer. Okay, and so now what I would do is, my next step is I'm going to say, hi, how do we disable using PowerShell, because this is a Windows machine. All right, so disable and enable Internet Explorer. So I've actually gone down this route too. I can tell you this is going to do something a little bit different, because this will completely disable it on the machine. So let's see, you can run the follow command. That's one way. Using the control panel. Do they actually give us PowerShell? Or actually, is that DSM? DISM, that might be a PowerShell command. I'm running those maybe once. Run the follow command and elevated credentials. Okay, so the reality is I'm kind of seeing the same thing over. Okay, as far as how to disable Internet Explorer here. So I'm going to go in transition, but I'm going to take the Tenable documentation here at face value, and it says that this registry key is missing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually add this registry key, okay? So the way we're going to do that is I got PowerShell up, and tell me, I hope you like this new view. I've got PowerShell open, and I made it really, really big so I can go back to my main view here. so you can see it. So the first thing I need to do is I need to check to see if the registry key exists. So look at this path here: HKLM local machine, software policies, Microsoft Internet Explorer, Notify. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to modify this, right? So, and we're going to use several commands today. So this is going to help elevate your PowerShell game a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a get, we're going to do a test path. And test path, basically, it checks to see if whatever you're looking for is this. So test path, and we're going to open parentheses, and we're going to, oh, I left off the path. So you need to do tac. When I say tac, I mean minus path, and then the path to it. And that's basically what it's going to do. It's going to, okay, so it returns false. So that lets me know that this folder doesn't exist on the machine. I mean, this registry key doesn't. So I'm going to go up a level. So let's say maybe the NotifyDisableIEOptions folder doesn't exist, but maybe the main folder exists. No, false. That one doesn't exist either. Okay, let's go to the Internet Explorer folder. False. That one doesn't exist. Okay, and the Microsoft folder. False. Okay, so now I'm a little bit suspicious because I'm like, that Microsoft folder should be there. But I made a crucial mistake. Syntax. And I'm glad I did this, because if you run these commands, it may be valid, but your formatting can be wrong. So I'm going to tell you what's wrong here. So in order for me to, let's go all the way back up. Okay, there we go. The formatting of the test path command, and anytime you're referring to, or most times when you're referring to the registry, you don't want a backslash in front of it, and you want a colon, HKLM local machine, colon software. Okay, that is valid syntax. Okay, so now let's clear it out. So that's the first one. So that was false. Let's take away the NotifyDisableIEOptions folder, main. That doesn't exist either. Internet Explorer folder, that doesn't exist either. The Microsoft folder, I know exists. True. Okay. So if the test cap, whatever you put in the path, if that actually exists, whether it be a folder, because you can use C:\/ Windows program files, whatever your folder path, you can use this test path command to check that also. So if it exists, it returns true. So now that we know that only this part of the folder exists, we need to add a registry key. Okay, and so in order to add a registry key, we're going to use the new item command. Okay, so we know what we need to add. Once again, referring back to Tenable, we need to add the internet folder, the main folder, and the notify disable folder. Now we could add those one at a time, but we're going to do a cool command that's going to allow us to add all of them. So I'm going to put this back, and I'm going to change this, like say save keystrokes. I'm going to do a new item command. And you'll see me look over here. I'm referencing my notes, right? So new item, then I grab the path. I know that's formatted correctly. But see, if I try to run this, it's going to say a lot of these folders don't exist. Because we're trying to basically, I'm telling it, hey, to create this notify disable folder or registry key. And I keep saying folder, but the main key doesn't exist and the Internet Explorer key doesn't exist. So it's saying I can't create this because these components of the path are missing. Okay, so let's clear this up. So there's a simple fix to that. All we do is do the tac force. And when I do the tac force, that means it's going to create any registry keys that are not there all the way to the registry key we want to create. So that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and use the tac force, press enter. And this is the output that you should see, okay? So you can see, so I've done this on my machine. This didn't exist on my machine. And I can delete this later. So now let's pivot. Now that we've kind of got our process here, I got my commands, we're going to go to a live machine. This is the machine that's actually impacted. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to use that exact same command, okay? We're going to do the test path command first, and then we're going to walk through all of these. So let's do a test path. And here we're going to right click and do paste. So when I do that, okay, so it says the Microsoft folder existed. Okay, let's try to see if the Internet Explorer. false. Okay, so that doesn't exist. So we know we have the same scenario. Folder doesn't exist, and we can actually take a look. I'm going to go a step further, and I'm going to do another command called Get-Item property. So or actually, I think I can just do a Get-Item GCI. Let's see, Get-Item. Okay, so that's showing me what's in the policies folder right now, the Microsoft folder. Let's see if we can use Get-Item property. See if we get some details. Okay, so I had a typo there. Property, not proper tree. Okay, so that's going to show me the different details of that actual registry key, not just any sub registry key that are below it. It's showing me the details. Okay, so I know Microsoft folders there, and then when I do a get, I'm going to do a GCI command. We've been using GCI. All right, so what that shows me is that's going to show me all the sub registry keys or the registry keys that are below the current ones that we're looking at. Okay, so now the next step here is we need to actually use the command we did before, and we're going to build out and add it. So let's see, let's just copy and paste. All right, I already got the command. I want to take it from our PowerShell one that we used earlier, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, make sure that's all on the screen. It was off the screen a little bit, so I can't do it clear, by the way. In certain remote shells, they lack functionality. So now I'm going to new item path, and I'm going to add this registry key. And there's one more thing that we can do. So not only can I do this, I can add the registry key. I can also go ahead and add the value to it. So I can do tac value equals 0. So this will actually add the registry key and also assign a value to the registry key. Now, if you don't understand any of this, it's going to be hard. You got to understand the registry. Maybe let me know in the comments so I can go back and maybe do some videos to describe the registry. It'll be a little bit hard for me to explain. I'm just used to working with it, but I'll do my best to give you an understanding. But it didn't say, it said the registry key didn't exist and the vulnerability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create the registry key, and then I want to see if the Tenable scan comes back and say, okay, the registry key exists, but it's not set. So when I press this, it should create the registry key. Okay. All right, and that's what you get. Notice we got some feedback. And so now I'm going to run the GCI command again. Get-ChildItem is what it is. I was trying to remember, what is GCI? So Get-ChildItem. So GCI is the same as this command, which is basically saying, give me the details of what if it's a folder, give me some of your subfolder. If it's a registry key, show me your registry. Show me your sub registry key. So Get-ChildItem is what GCI is. So there it is. Now you notice when I ran the GCI command before, these were the sub registry keys that we had in there. Okay. When I run it again, notice below cryptography, there was nothing. Now notice below cryptography, there's Internet Explorer. Okay. And then if I look and I do a Get-ChildItem command and I type enter and hit the tab key, if it exists, it'll do the same thing. Just like folders, you can hit the tab. And if you've given it unique information, so like if you have Internet Explorer, Internet Jumper, then if you type INTER, they're not unique, and you have to press the tab several key, and it'll cycle through everything that matches that. So when I hit here, so there's a main folder inside that one. Sweet. I'm going to type M, just M, because there's no other, keep saying folder, there's no other registry key inside of there. So when I say M for main, it's unique. There's nothing that matches M in there. So I hit the tab, and it's going to fill it out for me. And look, notify disable option is there too. So let's do N, tab it out, and there it is. There's nothing there. So the thing is, it's created the registry key, but it has not assigned a value to it. Okay. And so what we'll do is we'll do another Tenable scan here. We'll come back and we'll see if I need to do a follow-up video if this does not resolve the vulnerability, which I don't think it is, because I think you have to set the value to 0 or something like that to fix this. But we'll find it out. We'll take it step by step to fix and remediate this vulnerability. So at this point, if this video was helpful, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all the comments. I am seeing them, And if you made it to the end of this video, and thank you all, because I've seen all of y'all that have actually put the information here. So if you've made it to the end of the video, if you will, something that's really unique, 11.363.19041.0. I know it's a lot to type, but people type fast. You type on your phone faster than this. If you type this, that'll let me know that you made it to the end of the video, and I'll send you an invite to our Discord, okay? So, and show you some love and say thank you for doing it. Thanks for watching.